So another news story came out 6 days ago. Hatun Tash, who was obviously a year ago or a couple of years ago, was attacked. She was knifed in the face by a radical jihadi. Did they ever end up catching that guy or no?
As far as I read, yeah, he served 40 weeks in jail, as far as I know.
40 weeks. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
How come it never made news? Did they even talk about
But this is the thing. Mainstream media is not even like really covering this. It's very localized news. I mean, this last incident now has garnered some traction because obviously it went to,
BBC?
and he obviously admitted to this plot. But yeah, you can go ahead and fill us in.
So a man admits Hyde Park gun attack plot. So Hyde Park, this is why like when people tell us, oh, come to Speaker's Corner, bugger off. There's nothing good happening in Speaker's Corner, okay? We can do far more. We can achieve far better results by not going to Speaker's Corner and doing it on YouTube or social media.
From the safety of our respective homes, for sure.
These people try to shame us by saying, oh, you cowards. Yeah, why don't you go to Jerusalem and then do it? Why don't you go to China and Uyghur? You know, Muhammad Hijab does this, takes off his top and throws it from the safety of London in front of Chinese embassy. Go to Uyghur Muslim. Well, let's see how brave you are. Nobody is. You guys are cowards, basically. You act like a pack of dogs. This is what you do at Speaker's Corner. So you're not brave. You're cowards. We're not going to walk in your trap. We
value our lives too much. I'm sorry.
Exactly.
We don't believe in getting 72 virgins and waiting for this afterlife to enjoy the worldly pleasures. We'll do it here. Not that we have 72 virgins.
We're going to keep destroying your religion. So a man has admitted preparing to murder a Christian preacher at Hyde Park Speaker's Corner in a terrorist attack. Edward Little, obviously a convert from Brighton, was carrying £5,000 with which he hoped to purchase a firearm. What an idiot. And these guys are always idiots. This reminds me of a funny story. There was a jihadi guy. He wanted to join ISIS. He wanted to go from Australia to Syria. And guess what? He got a dinghy to go from the northern tip of Australia, which is Darwin. And then from there, he was going to go to Indonesia. And then from there, he was going to fly to Syria. Because
in a dinghy?
Yeah, from Darwin to Indonesia, he was going to go on
a dinghy.
Yes.
Is that physically possible?
No, it's not possible. It's not. That's how the authorities found out about it. It's like, oh, hang on, you're going to die.
The ocean just like he's clinging on for dear life, waving an ISIS flag.
A lot of people said you should have let him.
Yeah, you know what? Nature would have done its thing, Horace.
Darwin's award. But anyway, so that's what I'm saying. These guys are not the brightest people in the world. So in a country like England, he saved up 5 Gs to buy a gun.
I think he had gotten to the point of actually arranging it and sorting. Like he was on his way to go pick it up.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah, but that's the whole point. You're not going to be WhatsApping, telegramming, looking up, hey, how do I find a gun without alerting the authorities? It's not going to happen. People have been caught for even looking up the recipes for how to make a homemade bomb. People have been arrested over that.
Yeah, if you haven't watched 4 Lions, people watch 4 Lions.
I love that movie. So he was carrying £5,000 with which he hoped to purchase a firearm, a passport, and 2 phones when he was arrested last year. Again, this happened last year. We don't even know about this. We only know about it once everything's finalized. It was alleged his intended target was Hatun Tash, who regularly argued with other speakers and her camera crew, as well as any police or soldiers. He pleaded guilty at the Old Bailey by video link from Belmarsh Jail. Oh, Belmarsh Jail is not a nice place. Earlier this year, Little of Pelham Street denied preparing to commit acts of terrorism because they don't see that as acts of terrorism, but changed his plea and admitted the charge on Friday. So later on, he admitted. Okay. When they told him that, no, mate, this is considered terrorism. Okay. This is terrorism. You have to admit it. If you admit it, then, you'll be let off on a lighter sentence. He also committed researching Hyde Park, where he planned to carry out the attack, collecting money to purchase a gun and traveling to buy it. Little was on his way into London in a taxi. Look at him. For which he had paid £300. Oh my God. He saved up big time from Brighton to London on a cab.
It's not cheap. Brighton to London is going to cost you.
I have a feeling, the cabbie, because this is a very unusual fare. Nobody does that. So he would have gotten into a conversation with the cabbie.
Well, you'll see what he asked him. Does it say here that, you said you'll see.
So when he was stopped and arrested on 23rd of September 2022, he had asked the taxi driver if he could stop and pray at the mosque, although the driver had said there was not one on the way. I don't know if the cabbie was a Muslim as well. Shocking previous record. The prosecution asserted little
Mate, if I was the
research.
cabbie, I'd low key under the thing being like 999 just try.
Yeah, let them hear it. The prosecution asserted little researched, no pun intended, other targets, including military figures and members of the Metropolitan Police. Oh, wow.
He was
Tom
going to go on a
Godfrey.
little bit of a spree, to be honest. He did not just have one target.
Like the American
Pretty
style,
much.
the
It was
shooting?
pretty much,
Wow.
yeah, mirrored off that, one of them kind of attacks.
If he had been successful in his first attack, then he would have gone to the second one and the third one. Oh my goodness.
Well, I think that's why in England, usually we don't really have gun kind of confrontations. It's more usually stabbings and like physical altercations. The fact that he went for a gun was like he wanted a bit of a shootout, as opposed to the last person that attacked Hartland Tash, I think, was armed with a knife. And that's the most common in London, is what you're going to be faced with. So this guy really was looking to injure quite a lot of people.
Oh, wow. Little declined to answer questions in police interviews, but his mood changed when he was shown a YouTube video of the preacher and he launched himself across the table at an officer. What a crazy guy.
No, but Horace, that's the power of like riling him up by showing him a video. Imagine a YouTube video of Hartland Tash could be like, no comment, I deny it, to him, to losing his marbles and actually attacking the police officer. So add one more charge to your list while you're at it.
I missed this line. Police later found an encrypted chat on one phone which set out his attack plan and the gun purchase. Okay, how did the police... Oh, they later found out. Okay. Across the table, imagine, Nuria, if they showed your face to a crazy guy like that. This is Nuria.
Well, and yours. That's what I'm saying. It's scary work that we do. It's not normal. Guys, like, this is actually like close to home.
I know, guys. We need your support. Support us on Patreon. Be a YouTube member. We are literally, any day could be a loss. I'm not being an alarmist here, but seriously, this is freaking scary. All because we say Prophet Muhammad was not a real prophet. Come on. Why can't we say that? Okay. Across the table, swinging repeatedly with his fists before being restrained. Oh my. There you go. Throw another charge at him. Assaulting a police officer. He went on to admit assaulting the officer at Newbury Police Station on 28th of September and was sentenced to 40 weeks in prison. This is nothing. 40 weeks for assaulting a police officer. In America, you go for 40 years. Okay, that's too much too. At a previous hearing, Judge Richard Marks said Little had an absolutely shocking previous record. The defendant was convicted of 14 offenses on 7 separate occasions, including for robbery, having a knife, and drug dealing dating back to 2017. He will be sentenced on 21st of July. I reckon. What do you reckon? You have a bit of an understanding of the UK law. I hope it's not going to be some sort of a comical sentence. Is that illegal to say that? Because I don't want.
You're allowed to give your views on judgment. Okay. That's okay.
Yeah. Okay. So, well, what do you reckon? How long is he going to go for? I hope it's not like 40 weeks or 10 days of community service.
No, because there's quite a lot of things here. Like, he's assaulted a police officer, then he's obviously gone and tried to get like a firearm in his possession, and he's done the deal, and now he's admitted to essentially murder, assault, like attempted murder anyway, and he's called a terrorist. Because look at his previous record as well. That's going to add a lot to what the judge thinks of him in terms of his character and whether he's been radicalized, because we don't know his reversion to Islam story, if you will, or whatever. But the thing is, this man in general had a very kind of aggressive nature, and I think that's going to be looked heavily on in the courts, because it said he had a shocking previous criminal record. So that's going to be taken into account. But again, it's really sad at the moment. The English legal system is just really leaning on the side of lenience. Again, for certain crimes, it's okay, and you can understand what they are trying to do. They are very slowly trying to move towards a more Nordic approach, or less sentencing, more rehabilitation. But it's also that they are in the same breath giving that same leniency towards people who are radicalized and then people who claim to be de-radicalized. And when you do that, you really egg people on. Like that guy that came out of jail and then went straight to Horace. He didn't even go home. He went straight to London Bridge. Like, yeah. I mean,
he was angry. This is what I said. He was angry.
So there is something seriously wrong in the way that we're approaching fundamentalists here, the way that we are approaching their quote unquote rehabilitation when they are incarcerated. But then the benefit of the doubt we give them to be willing to be assimilated back into society and not be a threat, it's way too lenient as it stands in the UK. So yeah, I'm not super optimistic, but I wouldn't want to presume what they're going to say because I don't know all of his previous charges anyway.
Yeah.
I would hope that with his previous record, he would go away for enough time. At the end of the day, we are doing it from behind a screen in the comfort of our own homes. Over the last few weeks and seeing news reports like this and just the general overarching change and I guess the appeal that now Speaker's Corner has completely changed. From when I was a child and I used to live here, like like my dad and like, we'd go to Speaker's Corner as a family on Sundays and he would like show us that this is a beacon of free speech in England. And here you're going to hear all kinds of things, but that's the beauty of anybody can stand on some kind of elevated podium and just speak their mind. So I had a lot of like respect for this place
Until you put Islam in it.
Well, even back then when I was really young and I would go to Speaker's Corner, the Muslims and the Christians would be shouting very similarly to what they do now, but Islam didn't have that overly exertive, like domineering feel to it.
So they were a bit more subdued. But they just didn't have that kind of influence. Not that intimidation factor that they have now, that they enjoy it now.
Well, not the intimidation factor, but backed by violence in any case, or backed by potential violence. And I think that's now where the tables have really turned because like, I didn't even see this news report. My own family saw it and they sent it to me in like a heightened state of, we're really worried about you. And, be careful when you go to central London or you go to protests. And genuinely, it is because our face is out there now how it is. Our names are out there how it is. Like that guy bumped into John Cena. It's not crazy to think that you could walk around certain key areas in London and not be spotted or recognized or seen. And the amount of dawah people that are out there, but not even them, the people that they dog whistle to, who are the ones that are willing to take matters into their own hands and be the hero for the ummah. Like we get messages like this on Instagram with people threatening us in the same way, but it would only take a single confrontation in one of the world's most visited cities, which is really kind of, it did just give me a bit of a wake up call because it is now a bit too close to home for me. If I want to go on a night out, I need to think about these kind of areas where potentially all of these people could be wandering and there is no
move to Australia.
Back. I think even Australia is not safe at this.
It's not that bad. Trust me, it's not that bad.
But I mean, the thing is, there's no coming back from this, right, Horace? It's like once.
No, I think it's getting better. No, people forget about it because the reason is that there's so many ex-Muslims out there. You would certainly fall down in the priority list. So it can happen.
And I always think
and I think that's what you want. I mean, I always want Amin Nawabi AP to be above me. Go after them. If they come after me, hey man, I can lead you to AP and I can lead you to Amin Nawabi. Just let me go. I'm joking.
Oh my goodness.
I don't think they're gonna get. Don't
you dare lead anyone to me just to get your life saved.
No. I think no. You're already. I think you might already be. You got to do a few more years. You got to be a bit more confrontational.
Well, that's what I thought. See, here I am minding my own business from the safety of my own home, doing these YouTube streams. But then, like occasionally, right on the back of this news where I'm already a little bit shaken up, my family's a bit shaken up. They already don't like me doing what I'm doing. But then for me, usually Horace, like, we'll even joke, like I'll see a comment like this and I'll send it to you. We can laugh about it. But this was just way too close to after that incident happening. Can you just scroll up? So yeah. Going through my YouTube comments, I came across this, where obviously this guy is having a pop at ex-Muslims and trying to insult us. And then clearly some other guy was standing up to him. But then he completely comes back and remarks with, again, this is such like roadman, like English slang. So sorry for it not being proper English. But he goes, again, if you're so confident, head down to Speaker's Corner. And obviously the guy laughed to go too noisy at Speaker's Corner. But then look at the veiled threat in the next comment. He goes, of course it is. Is that your excuse? Besides, it's not you that needs sorting. It's your leader on YouTube. And anyone, I mean, you don't even have to be English slang. Like, if you know what sorting means in terms of like the same language that Mohammed Hijab and like gangsters or like English mafia movies use, when you got to sort someone out, you really know what that implies. So yeah, exactly. This is what I'm just lamenting here. That was what was once a true beacon of free speech, dialogue and debate, which are all integral to a functional democracy, which we pride ourselves here in the UK as being, has become a de facto no-go zone for outspoken critics of Islam like myself. Like, I would never now step foot in there. And that's a sad reality. This is a central park in a beautiful area of central London where, honestly, before I've seen Yoko Ono, I've seen loads of celebs, everyone goes there. You go there on various different days. I would be afraid to even get off at the tube station now there, because it's just, this is what Muslims have done. They've almost taken over that space and claimed it as their own. And anybody who crosses the line of when it comes to preaching or answering them back, you are not safe. You're not safe even with police officers walking around there, because they'll have their one coward who will try and come for you with a knife or whatever and then run the hell away. And that's how they operate. They hit and run.
Again, I would always say that they're not brave either. They're cowards. They surround people and they feel tough in a big crowd. If you're so brave, send your Muhammad Hijab to China. Let's see what happens. Send him to India and Kashmir. Let's see what happens. Send him to Al-Aqsa Mosque. Let's see how brave you are. Let's see, Anyone can act like a big, tough, macho man in a group. Anyone can do that. And this is why, again, not endorsing that. This is how white supremacists behave as well. They will beat you to a pulp. But obviously not right. There's no bravery in that. These guys think that, they're going to intimidate us or blah, blah, blah. It actually is a reflection of your religion and your character and the character of your community, if you behave that way. And again, these guys themselves are such cowards. At least in the online world, we show our faces. These guys don't even show their faces online. Most of the time you look at it, they have anonymous Twitter profiles. They have anonymous YouTube accounts. Anonymous. Cowards. That's who they are. So, you know what? Not intimidating anyone. It doesn't hurt us. Keep barking and we'll keep destroying your religion.
Sorry, I just want to say it is down to as well, like, I'm not saying that this is just some kind of phenomenon that's propped up and it's manifesting itself in Speaker's Corner in this way. This is a successive failure of British governments to curb this issue from many, many years ago. So the successive kind of like leniency that they've shown towards them, whether it's to keep the voting bank in check or whether it's to, not be seen as inflating like racial tensions and Islamophobia, it is a direct result of their policies, which has given people like this man or people like the ones at Speaker's Corner who take, I'd say extrajudicial justice into their own hands. It's because they feel like they're empowered to do so. And the government definitely has questions to answer as to how they've become so powerful. This is beyond mob violence. They genuinely don't have faith in the justice system. There's a lot that the UK needs to kind of introspect on, and their approach with dealing with fundamentalists has to completely have an overhaul, because we're going into dangerous territory, like territory in the sense that what we see happens in France in enclaves, territory that Germany insanely regretted, just allowing an unwavering amount of unchecked refugees into their country. The UK needs to really, you've taken certain steps to regain your quote unquote autonomy. Though I just also think that the UK government has a role to play in what we're seeing play out today.
If you like my video and would like to support my channel, then you can be my patron by going to patreon.com/xmuslim, or you can simply buy me a coffee.